Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, where today we're going to put you in a happy place.
Yeah,
that's where I went yesterday.
A little explanation of like after the show yesterday and the After the Show podcast. Murphy normally is a long goodbye or all right, I'll see you guys later, and he takes a while. Pew, he was out of the room. He dropped us like hotcakes for what? Some sort of meditation virtual meeting?
Yeah, it was an Instagram live. I don't know. It wasn't really a virtual meeting. It was an Instagram live talk. An event. It wasn't the, you sit down and we're all going to meditate together like Don Draper at the end of Mad Men. It's like...
you just gave away a spoiler.
Right. So, well, no, I didn't. I didn't actually give away the spoiler.
Okay, you're right. Anyway. You're right. Okay.
But anyway, so I'm distracted. Maybe I should be focused on my Calm app. But anyway, so yeah, the Calm app is what I use. A lot of people use as a meditation app. And so, and it's one of the more popular ones out there. It's got several million downloads. It's updated every day. And so, a couple of years ago, they started doing audiobooks. They started involving celebrities in what they do for the, remember?
Yeah, there's a Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah, there is.
That's right.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
He does calm one down.
Yeah.
Unless you start picturing him. But
yeah. I guess the answer is if you want to launch a successful product, have a celebrity start to use it. The next thing you know, the word starts to spread.
Sure.
But I mean, I love the app, and because it's 10 minutes every day, and you just get focused. It's not about disappearing into another planet or anything like that. It's just about being in the present moment, which if you don't practice every day, it's very easy to get lost in the world, in the noise
especially in
of the
our
world.
world,
Yes,
I think.
exactly. And so the reason I made a beeline to the computer yesterday after we were done with the show was because Tamara Levitt, who is the host, Tamara Levitt, that's her name, she's the one that hosts the podcast every day, the meditation every day. And she was hosting Jewel as her special video guest.
Oh,
and
wow.
Why didn't you call Sam?
Yeah.
I should have. And it wasn't just about, wow, God, I love Jewel. But I also, I remember that Jewel had kind of a rough story. Remember the true story that before she really hit it big, I think she was living...
She was living
homeless.
in a car.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she really had it. She had it rough. So I just figured it'd be an interesting session, and it actually was. But you know what was weird?
Yeah, except that I walked by his office. He goes, look, Jewel.
Yeah.
She's still hot. Like, she is still hot.
Yeah. She looked beautiful. She was at her house, distanced safely from Tamara
Her
Levitt.
ex-husband.
Her ex-husband, the cowboy.
Right,
the rodeo rider.
Yeah. So, and she has a new song coming out too. So that a new album.
Coincidence.
I think that's one of the reasons for the promotion. But what she brought, I thought was really, really interesting because that she learned meditation basically, or not meditation, but how to overcome anxiety on her own when she was living in her car, broke and no money, and trying to find her way. And she talked about having kind of a rough upbringing as a kid, and just things just weren't really right for her until she got older. So she passed along some of her pearls of wisdom, which I thought were really cool. And that's what I really wanted to see. I wanted to know Jewel's take on,
anything.
Yeah. How does she make water?
Right. I mean, I have one thought on how to overcome anxiety. I was going to see what her other thoughts were.
So what were her thoughts?
What she was talking about, anxiety overall, and this is perfect for anybody right now who is worried about, not being able to either get back into society safely, or stressed out about being home, or, going stir crazy at home. And it's about what she said is when she finally learned that anxiety robs you of the present moment. And not only does anxiety rob you of the present moment, anxiety is going to distract you to cause you to do something that you shouldn't be doing anyway. The reason that you're
truth.
Yeah, the reason that you're on the anxious path is because you're not paying attention to the present moment. And
The anxious path. I don't want to go there.
I've been on them a few times.
I'm sorry, sweetie.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was a pretty good explanation of things, considering that everybody is kind of in an anxiety place right now.
Yes.
It's kind of the same thing where, fear and gratitude can't exist in the same moment. That's really what she's saying, is that anxiety usually, if it's just your brain, taking you places and you're getting carried away, is really nothing more than you're focusing on the wrong thing. Your brain actually can be trained to move to something else. And if you're focused on something that's in front of you, or, the sky or the flowers or something outside, or just silence, something that's not the anxiety itself will actually start to go away. Now, I'm not talking about clinical, right? This is just, what they call acute, anxiety, not chronic anxiety, not generalized anxiety disorder, or anything like that. But I just thought that was really great. And she sucked me in. She's so calm anyway. And she does still look great, Sam.
Did she sing? Did she sing?
No, she didn't sing. And a lot of people who were on the chat, said, "Jewel, please sing your song. Please sing your song."
Okay, here's a question. I mean, we heard about this for hours before he left us.
He was going to do this event. Watch this
because
event.
this was like the thing in the daytime he had to hit yesterday.
I'm just curious.
Was it because you knew Jewel was going to be on, or was it because you were hoping for some new insight from Tamara?
I actually was curious because I've never seen Tamara talk at the same time. I've heard her every day.
So you've listened to Tamara all the time when you do that app.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I
Did you know Jewel was going to be there? Is the question.
Oh yeah. I got an alert on my phone.
Well, no wonder you made wonder you jetted out of here.
Anytime Jewel's going to be somewhere.
I get that.
No,
I'm down with that.
It's a good question. Yes, I do love Jewel, and yes, I was curious about her take on things, but.
Curious about what she was wearing.
Sam doesn't believe me.
Wait, I popped it when I passed by your office. You said that she said something that I say. I don't remember. Yeah,
before we get to that, I was just going to say that I have what is a relationship with Tamara. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I guess, with what we do here on the show. There are people that we sometimes don't see or ever meet, but we're friends with them, and we don't know that. And so that's kind of me. I've been using this app now for 3 years, so I'm very familiar, and I love the guidance. And I just, without even thinking about it, right? I'm just kind of what?
It's intimate.
Yeah.
What she is doing, guiding you through, for you is so personal.
Yeah.
And you spend a little bit of time with her every day. It's intimate.
Exactly.
And you feel like you feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
Well, familiarity is a comfortable thing.
Yeah. So that's the real reason, Sam, that I wanted to. And then, Jewel was a perk.
Then Jewel.
Yeah.
But Jodi's right. She said that Jewel said something, and I did. I said, Jodi, you say this all the time. Now that Jewel said it, I know it's the truth. No.
I know. I can say it for years, and it doesn't mean squat.
No.
But I can't remember what you told me.
She was talking about how to, don't buy into your feelings, because feelings are not facts. And that is so
Just
true.
Separate them.
We get so caught up in our feelings on things where they become a truth, or at least they feel like they become a truth.
Sure.
And we start using that emotion to guide us as, oh my God, this is reality, when really it's not. And if you can separate feeling from fact, even for a split second, that also can help alleviate anxiety or other things. I mean, really, it actually can create you from making really bad emotional decisions on things,
Yeah.
But
that's so cool. I'm glad. You know what? That sounds. I probably should have stopped and watched it, not with you, because that would have been a problem for you, I'm sure.
No, you could have.
But no, that's really cool that she did that.
It was great, and it was relaxing, but it was almost too relaxing. It's kind of like the way that I feel at a John Mayer concert. I love the music, but about 30 minutes in.
Okay, listen.
I need a pillow.
You say that, Murphy. We saw him once, and it was a very mellow show.
It was a mellow show.
I'm sure he does shows where he also goes a little more rocky.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Because I've seen one of my favorite ever episodes of, is it Crossroads? Is that what the show is called?
On CMT, yeah.
Yes, and this is several years back, but for anybody who's a music fan, you have to know that the best one I've ever seen is John Mayer and Keith Urban together.
Well, they're both good guitar players.
Incredible guitar players. They talk about it a lot. There's a lot of scenes of them talking about the art of playing guitar and how addicted they are to it, and then how they appreciate each other's music, and they did each other's music. Wow, that was my favorite one.
Well, that's because you had a blend of stories, music, and everything, and you had double trouble. You had two great
it was really
artists.
good.
But
so yeah. He can rock out too.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
he
saying.
can. So I got about. I was 45 minutes in, and I had other things I needed to do. So I would have. Yeah, I would have stayed for the full hour. But
Thanks, Jewel.
But no, it was great. I just want to let you know, Jodi, some other props to you. Because the fact and feeling thing is something you've always said for a long time. And we're all emotional creatures, and I'm one of those.
Yes.
I've always been passionate. I've always been, driven by that. And if I'm not careful, as you both know, it's very easy for emotion to get in the way.
You lead with feelings.
Right, exactly. But,
well, I will say this. That's not something that I have ever mastered. I'm just aware of it.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I lead with feelings on everything, and that is not the way to live. Like, you have to go, wait, I feel this way, but is that the fact? Like, you feel this person doesn't like you, but is that the fact?
Yeah.
No. And you can apply it to all kinds of situations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you should try to stop your feelings. You are an emotional being, but you have to just remember that it's just something you're feeling. What are the facts of the situation so that you don't get hung up, like you're saying.
Right. Well, see, you could have been sitting in Jewel's chair yesterday saying that.
But I'm not Jewel. No
well,
worries.
You are. Well, I mean, I can close my eyes and hear Jewel's voice, just from yesterday.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you ever close your eyes?
I'm kidding.
Anyway, that's so cool that she did that.
Well, but the other thing, the other two things that she brought up, and these are all just basics. But look, by the way, you said you've not mastered that, and I think that's important for everybody to know. You don't ever master it. That's why meditation is a practice. And we're all emotional beings, and so you're not going to stop that. In fact, that's where people get into trouble. You want to try to stop the feelings, but you really can't. You're an emotional creature. You just have to know what to do with them, or at least acknowledge that they're feelings in the first place.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was great. And then she also talked about your body listens to your thoughts.
God, that's true.
And,
that got distracting for you. You start talking about her body.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I'm like,
well, I'll listen to your body.
Yeah, right. Your body's in my thoughts.
What's she mean?
No.
Is that what all the men were typing? Was it like a comment thing? What she means is in my.
This is why we all should keep our mics on mute in conferences like this.
Yeah, we should. We can't do conferences together.
But
what she probably means, you correct me if I'm wrong, that what you start thinking, you start feeling, and physically you feel that way.
Yeah.
Like you can make yourself sick with your thoughts.
Well, and the other thing is, because your body does listen to your thoughts, you can also turn it the other way.
Sure.
Which means, just like I was saying earlier about, being grateful for something when you're fearing it. If you really focus on something that you're thankful for, the fear can't exist, at least in that moment. And so sometimes just the distraction is enough to change your mind. You get your body out of that, that space. But little things like, how they say if you put a little bit of a smile on your face, then you'll start to feel
better.
And
My grandmother used to say
it. It's crazy true. It's not trite. Even if it's just a little smile, because, it takes fewer muscles to smile than it does to frown. But anyway.
My grandmother also said that. Good Lord.
Okay. But seriously, it's the same thing with deep breathing. If you consciously slow your breathing down, because when your body goes into fight or flight mode, you start to breathe faster. And sometimes you do that without thinking, because we don't have to think to breathe, right? But you can think to slow your breathing down for a minute, which a lot of times, even that one sounds trite. Take a deep breath. Well, it's the truth. If you slow your breathing down, your body naturally relaxes.
Calms. That's one thing you're supposed to do when you're nervous. Like if you're about to go speak to a bunch of people and you're nervous, just slow your own breathing down.
Yeah.
If you possibly can.
Yeah. So that's the Cliff Notes on the Instagram Live with Jewel and Tamara Levitt. It was
nice.
It was pretty awesome. So,
did you take a screenshot for Sam?
No, I should.
Let's Google it.
Jewel says hi.
It was really. I mean, I kind of liked that. I just really had a new appreciation for her depth. She's very soothing.
Yeah.
She's still hot as the takeaway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Missed any part of the show? Get it all at murphysamandjody.com.